on the concepts we are working on. So yeah, well, as I said earlier, we're talking about design sprints and whiteboarding sessions. So let me move on to the next. Then we have what we call whiteboard sessions. Now, during design sprints, whiteboard sessions are carried out. So during design sprints, when everyone is ideating and everyone is doing this and that is when we carry out whiteboarding sessions. Now, whiteboarding sessions can be either digital or virtual, and it can be done on a board, on paper, or digitally. Now, if we look at Zoom where we are right now, you'll find out that we have a column called, no, not a column, right? You have a feature that is called whiteboard. I don't know if you can say it, but Zoom has it, Google Meet has it as well, because they know that they understood the importance of having a whiteboard. We can be on a virtual call, we can be working remotely, and I just want to show you something very, very fast. So it's not compulsory a sprint is done physically, it can be done virtually. Just that everyone has to be on that call and get things done. But the point is, whiteboarding sessions are very, very important. Whiteboarding sessions are very, very important because it helps you to what? So it promotes creativity within members of the team, and it helps everyone to easily absorb what you're trying to do. Now imagine I'm trying to describe, let's say I'm trying to describe a house. I'm just using my mouth alone. I'm not showing you what I'm trying to say. Now, a house is kind of very, 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 very common. Okay, let me use something else. Okay, let's say I'm trying to illustrate, okay, that I want a search bar to be on the header of the website. Now, I may be saying it, and you may not really understand where it should be, but the moment I sketch it out, the moment I use a whiteboard to illustrate, so whiteboard is for illustration, to illustrate, okay, how this thing should look like. So the moment I use that whiteboard, you understand, okay, yeah, this is where it should be placed. So that's how whiteboarding works. So it promotes creativity and makes content visually appealing. You can actually see the content in your head, even when the person is drawing it out. So they are very good. Whiteboarding sessions are very good for collaboration among team members and for brainstorming. So you have examples of video conferencing softwares that have whiteboards as feature because you know the importance of whiteboarding. I've mentioned earlier Zoom and Google Meet. You can check it out. So you can do a whiteboard session physically, you can do it virtually, you can do it on your pen and paper, you can do it on a board. So whiteboard doesn't necessarily mean it must be a whiteboard. It can be a blackboard if you like. But what it's just trying to tell you is that you are working on a surface, you're working to show your work, to make it appear. So I mean, pen and paper is actually good, but it's small. Not everyone can see it. Especially if you're using a big paper or something. But the purpose of the whiteboard is to make everyone see it, to make it visually appealing, to make it visually to make it visually stay in your mind. Not just that you're just thinking about it, but you can see what is actually happening. So let's move on to the next module 7, digital tools for whiteboarding sessions. So you must have heard of a few of them. Yeah. So digital tools for whiteboarding, we have FigJam, we have Miro, we have Whimsical, we have Balsamic, and we have diagrams.net, formerly called draw.io. So now I think we should do a little bit of let's say physical stuffs. So now let's try FigJam. Now we have FigJam, we have Miro, we have Whimsical, we have Balsamic, we have draw.io, which is now diagrams.net. Now FigJam is, as you can hear from the name, FigJam is an addition to Figma. So it's a whiteboarding tool in Figma. So Figma is for drawing high fidelity, for doing those pretty stuffs. Yeah, but FigJam is used for collaboration. FigJam is used for whiteboarding. So that was why FigJam went all the way and they said, okay, they look at they needed to make a complete software. I don't know if their software is complete or they're thinking about something else, but I'm just saying this from my own perspective. So they created FigJam for people to stay in one app and all in one app. Initially, before FigJam came out, or before FigJam was made public, because FigJam has been in existence for quite a while, just that it was in a better phase. So what I used to use Miro. So I use Miro, then transfer. I just either a screenshot or I just download as an image and transfer to my Figma. Let's say I want to create a case study. That's what I usually do. But Figma made everything made it very, very easy, very, very easy. So they created a collaboration, a whiteboarding tool, and a design tool, making it possible for you to do everything in just one application, just one software. So that's why, and recently, FigJam has been doing a lot of interesting things. They are making a lot of upgrades, which has made me to even abandon like Miro totally. That's if FigJam does not crash anyway, but it won't crash anyways. I'm just saying. So I've left Miro for quite a while, but because FigJam has almost the same features as Miro, or not even better. Yeah. So FigJam has that, gives that room for collaboration, and they're really improving on their tool. So let's check out FigJam. FigJam. Okay. Now, if you can see from here, you can see here you have new design file and you have FigJam file. So this FigJam file here is used for collaboration. So you can see whiteboard and diagram. So if I create one, so you can see it here. You have different things, everything you need here on FigJam. So now here is the templates they give to you. Now people use, like I said earlier, FigJam is a tool used for collaboration. People use FigJam for collaborating. They write sticky notes, they draw diagrams. So let's say I want to sketch out something. Let's want to sketch out something. So I just type something. So you have stickers here, you have templates, you can also import. You have widgets. I don't know if it's my network that is slow. I think it's my network. I hope you can still hear me. So then you also have plugins they can use, just like you have in Figma. You can also bring that in. You have wireframes, and then you also have and all that. So you can basically do amazing stuff here in Figma. You can create sticker sheets, you can change the color, you can use shapes and whatsoever thing you want to do. You can also put stamps. Let's say someone did a flow. Let's say someone created a user flow, and you want to add, let's say you want to add a comment tweet, I want to do something. Then okay, let's do this. I just add it here. Yes, I like your work. So FigJam is very, very useful for collaboration, and it has proved to be very, very effective over the years. Yeah, over the years. So basically, yeah, that's it. So let's check out. I want you to check out all the tools. So you can also draw. So okay, let's say I want to come. Let's say I want to draw a wireframe of a mobile application. Now wireframe they don't have to be beautiful. They don't have to be. You can just make them. Sorry. You can just make them. They should be. You can just make them messy. Depends on if you are good in drawing, but you don't have to be good in drawing. They can be messy. You don't have to stress about that. All that's important is that you should show the idea of what you're trying to do. So let's take for instance, I want to create a sign up. Now, if I need a sign up, here will be probably here will be the logo or something, and here can be my input fields. This one too. So from here, you can see that this is giving us the skeleton. So wireframe is basically like a skeleton, giving us a skeleton of how a sign-up form looks like. This is just a rough sketch anyway. So you can see it basically, you have a lot of tools that you can work with here. You have eraser, you have the tape that's just, so then you also have, so not everything will be useful to you. You also have a highlighter. Let's say you want to highlight something for everyone to see, just highlight it. You can also change the color of your highlights. So basically, FigJam has a lot of important features that really helps you to get your work done quickly. You can also use sticker notes, sticker sheets, and yeah, basically that's it. So let's move on straight to the next one. So you have Miro. So let me go to my browser. Miro. Sorry, I need to ask, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm on the Miro page right now. So I need to know if you can see that. Okay, okay.
If for the mirror page, we can't see your mirror page.
So what do you say?
I said we can't see the mirror. We're still seeing your presentation on Figma.
Okay, I'm coming. How about now?
Okay, yes, we can.
Okay, since Miro is taking time to load. So we have Miro, we have, let me check the other one. We have Whimsical. So Whimsical, each of them are all whiteboards, right? They are all whiteboarding tools that you can do a lot of amazing stuff on them. So just like you saw in FigJam, you can create flows, you can use our flows, function architecture, you can brainstorm on this, you can draw diagrams. Everyone can do their own stuffs here. You can draw your own, you can sketch out your own mobile view. You can do anything you want to do here. Basically, it's for collaboration and everybody can see their work. So that's basically the purpose of everything. So just like we had in FigJam, can draw. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. The main purpose is that you should illustrate what you're trying to say, what you're trying to show. So another stuff like that. So it's all depending on what you want to use. You can check them out. They are very easy to learn. So you have eraser, a marker, and yeah. So that's basically it for Whimsical. And they behave almost the same way, just that you have to be picky on which one you want to use. I mean, I prefer FigJam because with FigJam, I can easily transfer. FigJam and Figma are the same. So it's very easy to transfer from FigJam to Figma, because what I do initially was on Miro, I will have to like save it as an image, and that image will surely have a background. So I was going to remove the background again on the website. So it's kind of very stressful. But FigJam will just import it straight up for me as a PNG, right? And the PNG won't have a background. So Miro's PNG already has a background, but for Miro, it won't. Sorry, for FigJam, it won't, because they are the same software and they are into each other, right? So then that's basically Whimsical. You can get it on, you can sign up on whimsical.com, although it's not free. Yeah, it's not free. I need to state that fact. So they usually have, most of these software are not free. So Figma is the only software that is free to an extent, at least for you to use. Yeah. So next we have Balsamiq. Balsamiq is not free. It's just for 30 days. But it's very important you have ideas of all these too, because I've seen some job requirements that require you to have all these things, to know how to use all these things. So you having this is under your belt, it's not a bad idea. You can just learn them for learning sake, but you must also know what they're being used for, not just for learning sake as well, but you know how to use them and what they're being used for, so that at any point in time you can easily switch. For me, since I know how to use Miro and FigJam, I know I can easily just switch to any other tool. I don't like the whiteboarding tool. So Balsamiq here as well is used for collaboration. It's used for making low fidelity designs. So along the way in design sprints, there'll be a time when there'll be need for you to, okay, let us create a concept, a wireframe concept. So initially you're doing paper wireframe, but maybe a time you need to visualize it, to show it digitally, and that's where you have to use Balsamiq or other wireframing tools. So now the reason why Balsamiq is special is because Balsamiq has some features of has some very, very important features, very, very important assets compared to others. Now, if you check Miro and FigJam, you can't see stuff like app mockups or just some high fidelity samples stuffs there. But on Balsamiq, you see a lot of them. Like now, take for instance, I have Android. So I can see all these things, date picker, I can use all these things to illustrate. I click on smartphone. Now you can see my smartphone. And you can see it is what? It is black and white. Oh, sorry. So you can see it's black and white. Sorry. Oh. So basically you can add things here. Let's just add the search. I put on the search here. Then I type in what I want to put in the search. Okay, search for a participant. And with this, you can easily what? You can easily show them, show this to probably it's your PM, probably it's someone who is working on. So you can see it. Like now from here, like this, you can see, okay, it's a wireframe, but yet it looks real because this tool is used for creating low fidelity designs, wireframe design. So okay. Now if you remember your WhatsApp, your status icon, let's do it that way. The status icon you can see here, you can illustrate this. Okay, when I click on this, it creates something, create a plus, create an extra something for me there. Can put a date picker and amazing stuff like that. So Balsamiq is a very, very useful tool, not just for whiteboarding, but it's also used for creating low fidelity designs. I used to create flows. I also used to create, now see an example here. So I used to create a landing page just to show, okay, this is the structure. So it gives you a structure of how you want. That's what wireframes are for anyways. Give you a structure of how the real thing should look like. So let's go next to apps, draw.io. So I hope you can see where I am right now on draw.io. So I need to know if you can see where I am on draw.io. Okay, so now from here you can see different. Draw.io is also used for creating flows, just like you have in Figma, sorry, FigJam and Miro. These were creating flows, user flows. Now, user flows, information architecture, and the likes. So it's being used to do all that. Same thing as, but people seldomly use it because there are many advanced softwares out there as well. You have FigJam, you can do a lot of stuff. So this doesn't have like, let me check. It's been a while I use this, so I don't know if they've updated it, but they don't have like sticker sheets. I'll need to have sticker sheets, maybe probably to put some things down and the likes. But here they don't have it, so so I hardly use it. But just for you to know, okay, this thing exists. I've seen PMs use this a lot. I've seen PMs use this a lot in creating most of their, let's say, their reports, or they're trying to like create a flow for themselves. Like they're not designers, so they might not know about FigJam. They might not know about Miro, right? They might not know about Whimsical, right? So, but this, I think they know about this very well. So basically, these are like whiteboarding tools. Let me check. My Miro has refused to come up. I don't know why. I just don't know why. So Miro usually have these issues with network. I don't know why. So basically that's, so if you check out Miro.com and you log in, you have access to the you have access to Miro's dashboard, but Miro is also not free. Miro is just for you can only create 3 boards on Miro for an account. For one account, you can only create 3 boards. So meaning that once you've created the 3rd board, it will be telling you to upgrade to pro version. So, and that basically, but FigJam gives you a variety of like options. You can create as many as you want because it's Figma, it's FigJam. So yeah, so I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. So do we have any questions? I think I've been seeing some questions in the chat box. Let me go from the beginning. Okay, so Priska is asking, what track or discipline eventually becomes the sprint or scrum master, the project manager, the product designer, or product owner, or is it open to any tech track? That's a very interesting question. So a scrum master or a sprint master is not really limited to anyone. It's not limited to a particular individual, a particular job title. It can be anyone, depending on the knowledge that person has of that particular product. So let's say I know more about this product we're building. Even if I'm a designer, I can be the person in charge of that sprint to coordinate the activities since I understand what that thing is all about. So the sprint master is just someone who is like an overseer based, and he understands a lot of how. So it's someone you usually run to when you have issues. Someone usually run to when you have issues. Okay, this thing is not working. So it's someone usually run to because he has understanding of how this thing works. And if he doesn't understand, it's not that you have understanding, he knows who to ask. You get. So a product manager can become a scrum master, a product designer can become a scrum master, and even a product owner as well. So, and one thing I want to know is that a product manager and a product owner, they're kind of actually the same people, only that for a product manager, you have a particular field you're working in, right? Now, for a product owner, you have a particular product you're working on, right? Now, take for instance, let's say I'm a product manager, and one of the tasks, my own field, the field I was given to was okay to work on research. Now that's a field, right? So there are product managers for fields, not just for a product. So when you become a product owner, when you are given a product to manage, when you are given a product to handle, so that product owner will have his own developers, will have his own designers, and will have every other person needs to have on that team. So let's say we are working on 5 products. So there'll be 5 product managers. There will be like multiple designers on that product on a particular team, multiple developers on a particular team, right? So that's how it basically works. And that's why big tech companies of today, you have Google, you have Meta, you have Microsoft, and you have Apple, and all of them, they all have managers, many managers, and you see different a lot of designers as well, and software engineers, designers, engineers working under a particular product. So take for instance, Google Map. Google Map has its own product manager. So now in Google Map, you can have like hundreds of managers working on that Google Map, and you have just one lead product manager. You get, and on that Google Map, you can have hundreds of designers as well, hundreds of software engineers or developers. That's how it basically works. You get. So I hope I've answered your question. Let me move on to the next question. So is whiteboarding session within design sprint, or it's a different session? So it's within the design sprint, and it can be inside or it can be outside, depending on what you're trying to achieve. So let's say I want to just do a fast. So it's not every time you do a whiteboarding session. It's not every time you have a design sprint. So design sprint is something that comes once in a while. So that doesn't mean you won't be doing whiteboarding sessions, right? So whiteboarding sessions are done in a design sprint, but it can be done outside of design sprints. Let's say you want to show something to your PM has given you a task to do, and he said, okay, I need a wireframe, or can you just show me, sketch out your ideas for me? And you're on Zoom or you're on Google Meet, you just click on the whiteboard feature and start drawing, start sketching, and that's it. So you don't necessarily have to be in a sprint. Okay, so next, okay, what of Sketch? I think you're talking about Sketch software. So Sketch software, what am I saying? Sketch software is a prototyping tool as well, just like you have Figma and Adobe XD. But one thing about Sketch is that Sketch is paid, it's not free. That's one. And two, it only works on Mac OS, it doesn't work on Windows. So Sketch is also very good for prototyping, but it's not as that effective as Figma in my own perspective, right? So because Figma has a lot of variety of options, and Figma always updates their softwares based on what people are saying. They are very good at their customer response, I would say. It's very, very good. So yeah, so they're really leading. They're leading. So let me go on. Is there a way to link our Miro to Figma? Yeah, I think there should be a way, like on I think Figma recently brought out this feature called widgets. So when you go initially, like in those the past years before, in the past years, I'm talking about 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, these things were not there. So you can see Figma is bringing new things. Now, there's this thing called widgets. I'm sure you must have seen it on your Figma, on Figma, right? You see a square, you see a triangle, so that thing is called a widget. That widget, you have plugins. Initially before, what we do is that we install plugins. You have to go to community to go and install plugins, but Figma made it so easy that you can access any plugin without installing it. So now there's this part called widgets where you can do all these things. I don't know if Miro has been added, but I think you should check it out. So now when we talk about last time we talked about project management softwares like Asana, Trello, and all those stuff. Those things are widgets in Figma right now. So you can easily import your tasks from Asana, from Trello, from Jira, and bring them into Figma. You can be seeing them one-on-one like this and say, okay, this is what I have to do. You don't have to be going and checking every time. So I think there should have been a way for them to add Miro. I don't know yet. I've not checked, so I don't actually have any answer to that. So okay. So what's a flow? So a flow is simply like a journey. It's not really a journey, but it's like the transition from one part to one place to another. So let's say you are, I don't know. I think we should have Nigeria. I don't know if everyone here are Nigerians, but here in Nigeria you have a normal route. Let's say you're going from probably Oshodi to what do you call it? Let's say from Oshodi to Bega, or yeah, let's say to Bega. Now there's a route that is a flow. You can have different flows to reach a particular place. So a flow is basically like a movement from one point to another. Now a flow is from your splash screen, right, to your sign up or to your onboarding. When you open a new app, you see the splash screen. When that splash screen takes you to onboarding straight, that's a flow. Now onboarding, from onboarding straight to sign up is a flow. Also from your home can you import from, I think you meant to say balsamic. Yeah, so you can not import per se, but you have to download it as an image and import it on Figma, right? So you just import an image from balsamic and put it on Figma and show you want to show it to. So how long does the design sprint take? And how do you plan for it? Okay, that's a very good question. So as I said earlier, Google Ventures invented design sprints from design thinking process, from design thinking. So a design sprint can ideally, it was created for a 3 to 5 day event, right? But I said depending on the score what you're trying to achieve, it can take more than 5 days. It can take more than 5 days, but it should not exceed 4 weeks. Once it exceeds 4 weeks, you're not doing a design sprint again because you're wasting time. So practically, the purpose of a design sprint is to preserve time, for you to do something very fast and hit it and just launch. You get, so that's what. So how do you plan for it? So now planning for a design sprint enables you to you plan a design sprint. You have to like have a basic understanding of what you're trying to do. You have to get all the things you need. So you might be needing to have maybe stakeholders on board. You might be needing to have to talk with people and other things to bring them on board. So design sprint, basically you need to get all your equipment, all your tools, everything you need for a design sprint. Either it is physical or it is virtual. So you need to plan. That planning is very, very important. Plan the things you are trying to achieve. Okay, just like what we call deliverables, right? Let's say, okay, for this design sprint, what we want to achieve is a high fidelity of our mobile app, a website, a web dashboard. So those are called deliverables. So you plan them down. Okay, these are the things you want to achieve before the end of this sprint. So I hope I answered your question. So can you define the design sprint again? Okay, so let me go back to so I said a design sprint is basically a process, right? It's a process for ideating and collaborating with different teams. So it's like a retreat where everyone goes into have a rethinking of how this thing should work. Maybe when you hit a blocker or when you are trying to create a new product. So you carry out a design sprint when you are trying to validate or trying to create a new product. So the objective of a sprint is to validate the concept by building a prototype and testing it on your future customers in a friendly and creative atmosphere, right? So a design sprint is basically exchange of ideas between you and the entire team in a structured manner. You have, as I said, you have the different phases. It's in the phase. It's in 6 phases. You have the understand phase. You have the define phase, right? So if you check it out here, you have the sketch phase, the decide phase, prototype phase, and validate phase. So it's basically a process, right, in which you take towards to define what you're trying to do and how you can try to achieve your goals very fast. So it's basically like a retreat, as I've been saying. So I hope I answered that question. Are you saying the full lesson of a sprint is to show all design ideas, wireframe, and collaboration? Yeah, that's part of it. But the full essence is to bring out your work very fast, because when you guys come together, you guys collaborate, you guys can deliver very fast, deliver faster. Instead of